New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome you to the High Vibe Hour. I am Reverend Julie Moret. I'm an inspirational speaker and spiritual teacher at the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded and directed by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. And you are?
Hey, y'all. Welcome. I am Reverend Jennings, and I am a teacher, an author, a yoga instructor, a retreat facilitator, I guess I could say as well. And I am just so grateful. It must be Friday because we are flowing and we are vibing together. What's up, sis? How you doing?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm like, we've been talking a lot about teas lately and like, what tea are you into? And so I've been going to the Spice and Tea Exchange, and I feel, it feels really good. I think what's been most up for me over the past week is feeling more in tune with nature. I shared that Lao Tzu quote last week that, if you want knowledge, take something in every day, get something every day. And if you want to walk the way, let something go every day. And the way means flowing with life, being in the flow of life. And for me, that means being closer to the earth, being closer to nature. And so I got these packs of tea, and one is rose petals and one's just chamomile blossoms. And so I'm doing rose today. I feel like being very simple. You can get like all kinds of fancy teas, but I'm like going back to the basics. And
I love it.
I did the chamomile blossoms last night, and then I'm doing these rose buds, and like it just smells like essential oil. It smells like rose. And the intention, it's the holiday time. It can be super busy, kind of chaotic. And could you see all my logos?
Yeah. That's so cool. That is so cool.
Right. And so it just feels like really soft. That's my intention for this week, is really soft, really slowed down, and really in my heart. Like I want to really be available to these holidays, and I want to be like soft and pliable, because it could be so rushing around. So
oh my goodness, I love it. Cheers.
How about you?
I am doing something new. I love chai. You know what? I gotta say this. I do not like the pumpkin spice thing. That's just not my jam. But I do love the spices. So today I'm doing a chai tea mixed with a black tea pellet, and it's these little pellets of black tea. You drop in there, you put the chai on top, put the water through. It's a beautiful kind of wintry vibe. It heats the heart, and chai is good for any type of healing, and it heals through your body, and it actually gets the impurities out. So if you're holding on to inflammation, it's great to release inflammation. As we talked about last week, I've been dealing with some back issues. And I found out I have a degenerative disc in L4 and L5 and S1. So the space has gotten really small, which is causing a herniated disc, which thank God for my insurance covers my physical therapy. I've been in physical therapy, but after that, I've been coming home and having chai tea to really warm the spirit. It's been feeling really good, and I'm feeling better. So cheers to tea, y'all.
Yeah. And you know what I like about that is it's like they say, you take the diagnosis, but not the prognosis.
That's right.
So you got some information, you had MRIs or X-rays or what have you. And then what we get to do is, we get to Joe Dispenza the thing, and you get to imagine all that spongy stuff in between the discs, rejuvenating and getting more fluffy and creating more of a buffer. And There's such power, which actually gets us to the theme today, is that our mind believes what we tell it, right?
Absolutely.
Our mind believes what we tell it. And so, you know, we're going to dive into that in a few minutes, but just to take in, like, how am I verbalizing things? What am I saying? Anything we say after I am becomes law inside of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to dive into that in a minute, but I did want to highlight the fact that what is today? It is 12/12.
It is 12/12. Absolutely.
It's 12/12.
Have you felt the energy of 12/12 this week? Have you felt it coming up? Have you felt this energy building up to 12/12 this week? What has your week been like building up to 12/12?
So my week has been like soft. That might sound weird, but I've felt really soft, really in like feminine, really slow, which is weird for, you know, weeks before the holidays. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, just tuning in. Like that's what I'm about. I'm really tuning in right now. I have a lot of creative flow happening, which is funny because when I get in a creative flow, like it's almost like turning on a faucet. And so I get all these phrases. I'm a word person. So I could be in the middle of whatever and I'm like, I got to write it down because if I don't write it down, it's gone. So I've been in flow this week. How about
love
you?
it. You know what? I did something. I've been in flow, but I did something, and this, you know, if everyone judges us like what spirituality and what isn't, and all this, because everything's spirituality. But I'm going to share this. I went to an phenomenal movie. It has a lot of issues with it, I hear, but it's really good, and it's called One Battle After Another. Now, in my spirituality, I don't believe that we have battles. We have opportunities of learning, but this is such a dynamic film that when you get on the roller coaster, it doesn't let you off for a couple of hours. And it's with Tiana Taylor, who just got a Golden Globe nomination. There is, oh my goodness, what's his name? Regina King's in it. It's a great cast. And the reason why I brought it up, really, it's speaking to standing up for what is right. There's a lot of the idea of ICE and how we are really treating our brothers and sisters, our brown brothers and sisters on this planet. It really gripped me. You know, it was one of those films that shook me and hasn't let me go now all week long. I've been thinking about it. So that's kind of been my week. And I don't normally go to movies. I normally wait till they come out on TV and watch it at home. Thank you, COVID.
Can I tell you something? This is interesting because I don't tend to go to movies a whole lot either, but I actually went to a movie premiere this week. I totally forgot about it. And I think that's what has me feeling so soft. It's called You Are Never Alone by Michel Pascal. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith is in it. His wisdom is exquisite. And Temple Hayes is in it. And Gabrielle, I'll get her last name, gorgeous. And it's about, it's actually about suicide, but it goes on to show what happens in how others are impacted and what happens in our ongoingness. And I think that might be why I'm feeling so soft. Like it's such a powerful, exquisite film. So You Are Never Alone. I was very grateful for that. And I wanted to say, like, while we're talking about 12/12, 12/12 is considered an angel number, right? And there is a way that we can move through life and not necessarily notice, like, little, you could call them synchrodestinies, little synchronicities, those things that pop up. And what happens when we notice them is that we begin to see more of them. Like the more whatever you focus on expands, right? So I didn't want to mow over the fact that today is 12/12. It's December 12th, 12/12. And that's an angel number. What does that mean? It symbolizes awakening. It symbolizes transformation. It symbolizes alignment with your true path, with your true purpose. And so I really love the idea of taking a moment to acknowledge, like, that this is there's an opportunity. It's angelic messages. So the challenge, the opportunity here is to trust and decide already as you're listening to this, that within this hour, there is an angel message for you. There is something here that is for your highest good. And to check back in the end and find out what it is and to choose it. That's the power that we have, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to really go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's great. I believe, and I've been dealing with a little bit of how do you stand your ground and know what you're saying is what you believe. And I've had the great opportunities to really speak to people, my family, and talk about what I believe and what this time of the Christ consciousness and of the Hanukkah season that we're in right now, and of Kwanzaa's coming up, and the winter solstice. It's all about the light. This time of season is a season of light, and the light overtakes darkness. And I'm talking about the low energy, vibrational energy. The light always wins. And so I got a chance to talk about this. I got a chance to talk to a family member who was asking, well, what do you believe? Do you believe in Christmas? Yeah, I love Christmas. I love the holidays, but I also believe in the celebration of the light. I also believe that there is something greater than where we have put Christmas and Hanukkah into a box. We're having a new thought, expansive experience around what it means to be connected to God, to the universe. And that's been a wonderful awakening within my own heart this week.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And you've had conversations with your family since Thanksgiving?
Yeah, since Thanksgiving, yes, absolutely. And it's beautiful because I'm finding there is an opening. You said softening. There's becoming a softening around my family. And it's like we're all kind of softening, able to listen to each other, maybe not agree with each other, but listen and to be present and to know, yeah, we don't all believe the same thing does not mean that we're not connected.
Right. Because we do not all necessarily believe the same thing does not mean we aren't connected. That's so
right.
Beautiful.
Well, that's what Christ is all about, you know? That's what love is all about, yo. That's what love is all about.
Yes. So our theme, you know, this whole month is a year in review. And I think it's super smart to do this on a regular basis. Like every year. Hey, Liz, we're so glad you're here.
Hey,
to
Liz.
do this every year. And throughout the year to do these check-ins, whether it's, you know, biannually, annually, monthly, bi-monthly, weekly, to at the end of the day, to be just to see like, where am I at? What's my intention? Is it time to course correct something, you know? And so as we do this year in review today, the theme is your standing ovation, like to take a moment and give yourself a standing ovation. And some people may say, well, like it was a rough year. You know, I didn't do what I thought I was going to do. But the idea is, and the real inspiration for today is that your mind believes what you tell it. Your mind. Oh, I like that. Right?
You deserve that.
Thank you. Your mind believes what you tell it. So I want to like land so fully into this. Your mind believes what you tell it. So the obvious question is, what are you telling it? What's that internal dialogue? You know, I see people sometimes and they'll be like, they'll make a mistake or something and they'll go like, I'm an idiot. Like anything you say after I am becomes law. Your mind believes what you tell it. So I want to be super clear. We are not talking about spiritually bypassing anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not talking about spiritually bypassing anything. But, you know, a year is a long time. No matter how crappy you may want to sum it up, there had to be something that worked out.
But you did well.
There had to be something.
Well.
Yeah,
and in some spiritual practices, we call it taking an inventory. You're going to take an inventory of what did you do well? What could you improve on? And I know inventories are done for me at the end of the day. Okay, what did I do really well today? What could I have improved on? I love this. I love this opportunity to begin to see, because, I have a tendency, and we've talked about this in previous shows, I have a tendency to just bypass literally when someone gives me a compliment. I want to go straight. And for me, that has been kind of in the place of unworthiness and blocking that, oh, you had a great yoga class. Great. Thank you. And run, instead of fully embracing and saying to myself, yeah, that was a great yoga class. Yeah, that was a great talk I just did. Yeah, I did really well there. I touched somebody.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, you did pretty well, because at the right before this show, I was mentioning, like, I got to read Transform in 10, your next book, and it's gorgeous. And
Thank
you sat in it, like we were getting ready to start a show, and we just took a breath there, right? Like,
you did.
all right. So
Well,
I love
can I ask you a question? What is that thing within us? And I've been contemplating why it's so hard for us to receive. And I think it goes beyond, I'm not worthy, but I've been contemplating, why is it so challenging for us to receive the goodness that's flowing through us and recognize it within ourselves? What do you think?
Oh, I think sometimes I'll deflect a compliment because I don't want to be threatening to anybody else. I don't want to make anybody feel like, oh, she thinks she's whatever. Like, there's somebody at Agape, and I've noticed that every time she gives me a compliment, I follow it up with some self-depreciating thing,
Wow.
And I've noticed, why am I doing that with her in particular? And I think it's because I just want to make sure she doesn't feel like I'm, whatever it is, it brings up something in me that I don't want to be too threatening, or I want to stay super, super humble, or appear super, super humble, instead of just being like, thanks. Yeah, it is a nice dress. Or, yeah, I feel like I'm looking, yeah, I appreciate that. If it's a compliment on how I'm looking that day.
So you're bringing something else up that I do, and it's at Agape as well. When I get a compliment from our teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith, and he will sometimes say, I saw that on Instagram, or he'll say, great job, I'm so proud of you. And then I will automatically throw it back to, well, it's only because of you. And the last time I did that, he goes, no. You heard and you ran with it. He corrected me. I was there early morning for the Way of Meditation. I was on pulpit rotation. This is a couple months back, because we were talking about Florida, and I was saying, well, I only did it, because I went because you inspired me. And he's like, no. You did this because it was something in you that was calling you. And I believe that deflecting that compliment or the appreciation, I no longer have to take responsibility for it. Kind of, I'm feeling.
That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So I just want to invite those listening, how do you do with compliments? How do you do? And even, because I know somebody's thinking, I never get compliments. Even if you were to compliment yourself, can you compliment yourself? Can you give yourself that? Whatever it is, and maybe do that right now. Let's all think of something. You don't have to say that, but something, and feel what it feels like to sit in it, to be like, yeah, I'm grateful for that. So this year in review, and we're talking today about your standing ovation. Give yourself a standing ovation, whether you think of successes or wins or something you're grateful for, or even if you had the most challenging thing, you're still here. You may have stumbled and fell, but you got back up. So, and the reason why I want to be so clear, this is not a spiritual bypass. This is our minds believe what we tell it.
Okay.
Our minds believe what we tell it. So I want to say something that is affirming, because I want to close out 2025 in a way that leaves me elevated and positioned to rise in 2026. Make sense?
Yeah. And 20 years ago, this is coming back to me now, about 20 years ago, Deepak Chopra was at Agape, and I remember him saying something, or remember, I know it came from him. I don't know if it was at Agape that he was there or whatever. And he said to us, he said, the most powerful mantra we have is I am. And whatever we put behind I am is, because mantra means tool for the mind, literally in Sanskrit, tool for the mind. And whatever you put behind that, you begin to believe. So when you walk to a room, you say, I am sick and tired, universe, and you go, yes, you are. You're sick and tired. But if you walk through and say, I am a divine source with creative ideas and power, that's what I start to believe. That's why what we're doing here is this review of what we've done well this year really amplifies the goodness that's within us. And this is why this is so important, I believe.
Absolutely. So here's a way that we can frame things. Like, even if you feel like, oh, it was such a rough year, nothing worked out, you could say, I'm resilient. You know, come up with a way to frame it that builds up a strong internal infrastructure. And then what happens, because we magnetize at the level of our consciousness, then you start to attract people, places, circumstances, and events at that heightened energetic frequency. That might sound airy-fairy, but it's science. We resonate. David Hawkins, Power versus Force. All qualities have an energetic frequency. Anger, fear, doubt, worry, all those, jealousy, insecurity, all of those, which are human emotions. We all have them. But if you stay seated in them, wallowing in them, then that's the world that we create, because that's the lens that I'm looking through. So I want to cause myself to rise up, even if it's to neutrality. Even if I can't get any higher, but even if I can get neutral, like, can you get neutral today?
And put yourself into a place of the opportunity to grow, to expand. The thing that we talk about, this low frequency, there are low frequency, there are high frequencies, there are lower energetic experiences, there are high energetic experiences. And if I am willing to up level my frequency and my energy, that gives me space to continue to grow. I remember going through a really dark night. And I remember what my mom used to say when we say, how you doing? She goes, I'm better than yesterday, but not as good as I'm going to be tomorrow. And I kept remembering going through my shift. Wait a minute, I'm better than yesterday, but wait till tomorrow. You wait. Because I was on my way coming back to LA, and I was like, that makes sense. I am not like I was yesterday, but wait till you see me tomorrow, y'all. Go mom.
That's so good. Go mom. I love that. Yeah, so I think it's worth it to take a moment. And, you know, we always say, like, even if you don't feel like any of the highest qualities, like, I am light, I'm love, like, are you willing to be willing? That's one of the phrases that I always revert to. Like, if I'm not there yet, am I willing to claim myself as love, as light? And so I'd like to just take a moment and invite everybody to kind of do a year-end review. And I want to do it from the lens of what went right. Because we could all come up with and buy a long list of everything we didn't like or didn't work out. And again, this is not spiritual bypass. This is focusing consciousness so that we can direct towards the direction of what we do desire, as opposed to what we do not desire. So if you had a goal and it didn't happen, you know, it would be like, I have, you know, fortitude or conviction, or come up with a word that frames it in a way that, like, you may have been down but not out. Like, I'm still rising, I'm still growing, I'm still choosing, and I'm still trusting, you know. And so I just want to invite us to think of, like, we're coming to the end of 2025. There's a lot going on. What was this? What worked well? What worked well? You know,
what worked well for you? And and what I'm saying, one thing that really worked well for me was us deciding to do this iteration of this, because we had many iterations. I've been doing podcasting for over 20 years now. And I believe this is probably the most powerful iteration of podcasting for me. So this was a big win when you said yes, that we can partner up on this adventure. So I that's huge win for me.
Yeah. And that's an example, like how I opened this saying, uh 20 it's 12:12, and
Yes.
can we take a moment and just notice our little angel messages when they show up? Every time I look at my phone and it's double digits, like 11:11 or 12:12, I always take a photo of it, because it's my way of saying to the universe, thank you. I'm receiving this. I'm receiving this little wink from the universe. I'm receiving this, just like that angels are around. And as I do that, I feel like I'm living in a universe that is responsive, that I am participatory, that I'm unified rather than on the outside of life. I feel like I'm part of life. And so when we were at the Agape International Spiritual Center one morning, and I think it was right after services, and we just started talking, and you mentioned like podcast, and I just said yes. Like, it was such a fast yes. And I usually like really think about things. I usually say no a lot.
Yeah.
And so I really, I'm going to get to this in a second.
How it worked though. I was in with another, and everyone knows Reverend Cynthia. She's out changing the world. We love Cynthia, Reverend Cynthia Ambry. She's amazing. And she was traveling a lot. She was away a lot. And it was like, okay, well, let's find people who can drop in while she's traveling. So having different guests. The week you dropped in, the first week, I heard Spirit say, ask Reverend Julie to be a part of this on a consistent basis. And in my mind going, I know what I thought. She ain't got time for that. Girlfriend is rocking the world. And I went back and forth. I'm going, she doesn't have time. And when I finally did it, it was like, yeah, let's do this. It was instantaneously. It was like,
it really was. And it really was. So there are two things about that for me. It's one, being able to recognize when there's flow, when something is right. And the second one is being willing to yes it, being willing to, because so often my first response is no, my first response is, but like to yes it when you feel that yes inside of you. So that's a little like, angel, I was saying at the start of this that the fact that it's 12:12 means that there is an angelic message for you. There's something that is for you in this hour together. And for somebody listening, it could be that alone, that when you to better feel, to more accurately feel when there's a yes rising up in you, and to maybe tiptoe or leap into your yeses. And so I want to move on with that, but I did want to let Liz know I was at a movie premiere for You Are Never Alone, and it's a gorgeous film by Michel Pascal. You can find him on Instagram, Michel, Michel, Pascal, Pascal. He's a director, and it's not out yet. So this was a screening. But if you're on my Instagram, I will definitely be letting the whole world know when it's in theaters or streamable, because it's gorgeous. And important.
We'll do here at the show, we'll definitely drop a link. We'll even maybe we can bring him on.
I'm sure. Yeah, Michel would love to come on.
Oh my God,
he's quite beautiful. He's actually singing at Carnegie Hall this Sunday, I think. But he's quite wonderful. Or January 11th, I believe. Yeah, that would be great. He'd be a wonderful person to have on. He's really divine, and he created a work of art. And also, I'm going to just go on a little bit of a tangent about this, because the film is about suicide. It deals with suicide, but most importantly for me is it deals with the way that they described what happens when we physically pass in this life. Resonated as true for me. So if somebody is considering suicide, I know in the moment it feels like a way out of pain. There is an ongoingness to our consciousness. We don't just end when the physical body ends. And so I believe, everybody comes up with their own faith and trust around this. I believe that when our body does die, there is an ongoingness in consciousness. So it doesn't necessarily, like in this film, the person that committed suicide becomes extremely aware of all those that he left behind. Yeah. And it's so touching and so aware that, like, oh man, that was yes, like with your daughter. It's and like this person becomes so aware that it didn't have to be. Like it was a moment. And so I know you did, Liz. I know. So yeah, you could check out Michelle Pascal on Instagram, and I'll definitely, I'll be letting you know when the film comes out. But there's something, it has a beauty to it. It doesn't leave you like lost, it leaves you in the beauty of the eternal nature of life. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that. Yeah.
And before we go on the break, and I want to say two things that came to mind. Number one, I believe the expansion of where we're going with this show, we've talked about this, is bringing guests on. I would love to start doing that with our friends and people that we know that we're connected with. But to go back to what you were saying, I believe this is where, for me, I'm going to speak this for me, one of the biggest things that I am working with is the places where I didn't do well or places I could have improved. How do I forgive myself so I don't carry that energy into the life after life? It's been very, very strange time for me, and thinking I'm not ready to transition. I'm not ready, but I'm looking at my life going, wow, I missed the mark there. I missed the mark there. I missed the mark there. So what I'm really talking about is self-forgiveness and knowing that everybody's just simply doing the best they can. You're doing the best you can. So forgive yourself. But that energy, that if we don't clear it up, do you believe that we take that energy into life after life as well? Did that speak to you in that way as well?
I think that in our ongoingness, we as a soul continue to evolve. We have a desire on a soul level. It's called syntropy. That is the innate drive within all living matter to self-perfect.
Wow.
So entropy is the opposite. It's that things wither and decay. Syntropy is the innate drive within all living matter to self-perfect. So I think that includes our eternal ongoingness. So I think as a soul, we come back over and over again to learn lessons and to evolve. And as we individually evolve, we are evolving humanity forward. And I think all of those with breath in our body right now are a part of creating the new humanity, the new human beings. Alberto Villoldo, a great shaman and spiritual teacher, refers to it as luminous beings, I believe. I'll get the exact, I know we need to do a commercial break.
No, but this is so rich. This is so rich.
Yeah, we are ushering in the next iteration of humanity. And so, I feel like there's definitely more to visit here. And as we go into the next half hour, there's going to be an opportunity to review the year. And I'm thinking about Liz or anybody else who has a loss. I know her loss was longer ago, but it's like, probably very close always to the heart. Maybe there's a way to, we're writing a love note to ourselves. Maybe there's a way to write a love note to your daughter, a love note to yourself, a love note to the agreement that the two of you made before this life even, right? Yeah. There's something beautiful that's available for us. So let's launch into a commercial and we will be back.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour, 60 minutes of connections, insights, and conversations to raise your vibe. Join Rev Julie and Rev Skip each week for an exploration of living a high vibe life. Tune in live every Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time or anytime during the week on our YouTube channel. The High Vibe Hour, only on New Thought Media Network.
Welcome back. Welcome. So again, we are the High Vibe Hour, Rev Skip Jennings, and I am Reverend Julie Moret. And this month, all December, we are doing a year in review. You know, we're just taking a moment to recap the year and reframe the year. And the focus today is your standing ovation. And why are we doing a standing ovation? Because your mind believes. Your mind believes what you tell it. So imagine if you had that audio clip following you around every day. Can you imagine if you had that cheering every single day? You know, I think Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres would talk about that, like what it means to be able to walk out on stage and have everybody cheering. So we want to be our own cheerleaders. Why is that? Because your mind believes what you tell it. And so when we start telling it loving, kind, supportive, encouraging things. And what happens is we oscillate up, we begin to vibrate at a higher energetic frequency. So we then create a world, we attract a world that reflects that loving kindness. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oscillate up. I'm that is a new word that I'm going to use every opportunity I get. I love that because part of this work, and speaking from what I'm learning right now, I cross over a certain line for me in age-wise where I'm thinking more and more about what is life after life. And so I have to focus on not worrying about what's happening here. How am I living now? That's been kind of the work that I'm doing. And asking myself, have I done enough? Could I do more? Could I be like, I'm out there feeding the unhoused on the third Sunday of every month, and I'm sitting there going, I need to do more. I need to do more. And spirit in me is saying, don't you know you've done enough? And I'm well pleased with what you've done. But in my ego sense, in this head sense, it wants to tell me that I have not done enough, that I need to do more. And you know you don't have the time to do more. I mean, this is how the ego can work. You know, it tells you you need to do more, but you know you can't do more. You know you're not able, but you know you need to do more. It's listening to spirit. I believe for me, hearing the applause from God in me, it's applauding, going, I'm so pleased with you, son.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased with you. I want to overshadow. I want to stop listening to what's happening in the ego and hear what's happening in the heart.
Right. And to speak that, to speak life over yourself, to be the one speaking life over yourself. And so even to practice being grateful for what we have done, because it's so easy to just lay in what we didn't accomplish. So when you have been of service to whatever degree, to be so grateful, like I'm so grateful that I got there. I'm so grateful that I did that, rather than bring in the caveats of, but it wasn't enough, or it wasn't as long as it could have been, or just like I'm grateful. And the reason why we do this as a spiritual practice is because the frequency, the energetic frequency, this is not airy-fairy, this is science. The energetic frequency, that frequency resonates within our bodies. It reverberates like a tuning fork. So it starts to create harmony. It starts to create balance. It starts to create ease within the physical body temple, the frequency, just the frequency. There's so many studies that show this now, right? Yeah. Walking around with a sweatshirt that says love. Is that yours? Is that what you sell?
Yeah, this is one of my sweatshirts. That's why I'm hitting the love energy, because you know, one thing that you're saying, as you're saying it, I'm feeling your vibration. This is why I am so attracted to how we participate at Agape International Spiritual Center. I feel a vibration when I'm in the space listening to whoever's speaking. So I've been in this other side. I've been working, not the other side, 'cause there's only one side in God. I've been in more quieter communities, and I've been speaking the way I speak with energy and vibration, and it's like a whisper, it's like a tumbleweed. And on Wednesday night, I was like, are they not hearing this? Am I not landing? Am I not doing a good job? So I'm hearing this, and I'm hearing you say this because I'm responding to you, and I want to go, yes. And I'm not in a community that goes, yes. I'm just not in that community. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I haven't done a good
100%.
job.
I have done speaking engagements. I did a speaking engagement in front of a couple hundred attorneys. I did a speaking engagement in front of like, I think it was like 75 FBI and Secret Service agents. And I'm telling you, like, I'm doing my thing. And like, so I thought, oh, they think this sucks. And then afterwards, I hear how impactful. So I really appreciate what you're saying, that some people just absorb differently or share differently.
Yeah, but I'm just rocking with you, Reverend Julie. I'm just like, yeah, that applause. Let's go.
Right. And even like a subtle invitation, like when speakers, you know, demand that you say things or stand up, or like, I don't really like that, but I give people the opportunity. Like if it feels right, you can repeat after me. Or so I like it. I make it softer. I don't like that command thing that some speakers do. But sometimes that's an invitation to help people that normally, you know, just came up being quiet. So, so we are here at the year in review, and we are focusing on your standing ovation, like giving yourself a standing ovation. And why are we doing that? Because your mind believes every single thing you tell it. So in this moment, what is something that is true that you can tell it? What do you want to say? Like, I'm feeling a lot of accomplishment right now because like, so I'm feeling like, you know what? I do what I say I'm going to do. I follow through. I've had a vision for many, many years of having, there's a great book, Virginia Woolf, I think she wrote of A Room of One's Own. And it was, I mentioned this a lot. It's about how it was particularly for women, but how I think we need a place to create and craft and dream. And I have wanted that for so long, and I have it now. And it was like a Herculean effort. So I want to just take a moment and acknowledge, because it's so easy to be like, okay, I'm here and just keep moving. But I just want to say, like, you know, did the thing, right? Like, did the thing. I have my space. So I want to acknowledge that. And I'm inviting, as you're listening to this, and this is a year in review, what went well? What are you grateful for? What are you appreciating? And like, let's really do this. Just take a moment and start to let yourself fountain up, you know? And if something didn't execute the way you wanted, if you stumbled and fell, you know, you got back up, or you're still breathing. There's still, you know, air. If you put a compact mirror under your nose, like you're here. So appreciating your resilience, your fortitude, or your willingness. And then what's the vision? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, another way we can word that is, what am I willing to learn from those places where we felt was a misstep? What am I willing to learn, or what did it change? Or another word that we like to use a lot of times in our teaching is, what is seeking to emerge from this situation? There is something that's seeking to come out of this growth. So I'm looking at one situation that I felt maybe I could have done better this year. And my work has been, what am I here to learn about that situation? What am I here to learn? I am willing to learn something from that situation.
Yeah, that reminds me of the I'm willing to be willing. So especially when we go through hard things or challenging things and it feels like, no, it just sucked and there's no takeaway, to maybe be open and available. And I want to be so clear, if you've gone through a hard thing, I am not one of those people that said, I do it all over again because it made me who I am. I'm like, if I didn't like it the first time, I would not do it again. Like, no, that's me. But since what is, and since 2025 has occurred, what can I decide? What can I choose to launch me into 2026? What can I decide? And that's really the invitation right now. Like, what do you want to emerge in 2026? And then when you think about what it is you want, I like to really root in the qualities. So I could say, like, I have a series of books that I'm writing, and I want to say, like, discipline with writing. What are the qualities back of whatever your goal is? If there's something around health, if there's something around prosperity, if there's something around love, you can have an idea in your mind of what you think you want it to look like. And it's great to have visuals, like images of what you want. And my suggestion is really anchor into the qualities of God. Qualities of God are things like integrity, beauty, harmony, wholeness, abundance, prosperity, love, union, connection, freedom. So I think it's beautiful as we, move towards closing out this session, become aware, what are the qualities that you would love to just rocket you into 2026?
Yeah, and do you still do a vision board? Do you still use those?
I haven't done one in a while, but
Haven't
it's funny you
either.
brought that up, because I found one and I'm like, wow, things just it was better than I could have imagined. I really love that Taoist saying, if you want to walk the way, let something go every day. I really love the idea of kind of allowing things, and then that which is most right rising up. So there's like a grace that I'm working with, but I do want to have some, and I'm glad you said that, because I feel like, I want to have like a nice vision board moment. I think I do want to do that this year, just to get a sense of like, what are some of the things that I would really love to experience in 2026? I like that.
And so would you invite us to do a vision board before the new year? Or do we drop into doing the visioning board, maybe a vision board or a visioning board? Maybe we vision and then we create the board so then it's a visioning board.
Yeah, maybe next week even we could do some visioning for 2026.
I would love that. Absolutely.
Let's do that. So I feel like and my commitment, and we always do these takeaways towards the end of the hour.
Yep.
So my thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to open to what wants to emerge in my life for 2026. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to start like getting a real sense of that. How about you? What do you feel like would be a takeaway for you?
Yeah, what I'm going to do this, I believe, in the next week, to really do a full inventory of the year and really look at it and really be with it and embrace both parts of it. And not both parts. I mean, I'm shifting my language. All of it, the totality of my year. What happened? What am I grateful for? And what am I grateful for that didn't happen? I've had a conversation with my housemate, and the conversation is been like, how did I get here? Or have we done enough? And I'm always like, yeah, we're here. Of course. What am I here to learn while I'm here versus how did I get here? And part of this throughout the year is really taking the time to do it. And I'm going to commit to doing it with a pen and a journal. Because we get, smartphones, not so smart, yo. We're not so smart with the smartphone. To sit down and really write it out. Because I'm neurodivergent, I experience dyslexia. Writing has not always been, especially handwriting. This is why I wrote a book. This is why I wrote 4 books, so I can get beyond that label of dyslexic, because I'm not. But sit down and actually write it, pen to paper.
Yes. So let's do a little something even now, just to take a moment, and we'll do our own year in review in this moment. And the invitation, especially if your mind tends to go to all the things that didn't work out, see if you can frame it in a way where it does something that strengthens you, that motivates you. See if you can find what you're grateful for, And even if you don't find a lesson or a learning or something to be grateful for, see if you can be willing to allow something that is of good to come for you. And so the invitation right now is to kind of scan this year. So, January of 2025, the whole winter of 2025, just notice, see if you can recall things you're grateful for.
Yeah.
I had a women's trip I'm really grateful for, a strong group of women supporting each other. Become aware of everything you're grateful for from the winter.
Yeah.
Becoming aware of in spring 2025, whether there were challenges, whether there were the wins, just taking a moment and noticing. And if you're not able to think of anything specifically, just kind of wash it over with gratitude. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what this time gave, served, offered. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I taught a class at the Agape International Spiritual Center. Love that. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? And then summer 2025.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for? What do you appreciate? What are you knowing? Any lessons, any learnings? Fall 2025. What are you grateful for? What are you noticing? What do you appreciate? And again, if you can't remember anything specifically, maybe just wash it all over with gratitude for everything that you have learned, gratitude for the lessons still revealing themselves within you, gratitude and appreciation for your fortitude, for your strength, for your endurance, for your willingness, for continuing to show up. Gratitude, 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 gratitude.
Yes.
And then open in this moment, open to what it is. What is your heart's desire? 2026, if it could be anything, what is your heart's desire in the area of love, in the area of connection, in the area of community? Heart's desire, get an image, get a picture. Heart's desire in the area of prosperity, in the area of abundance, in the area of ease, in the area of service. What is your heart's desire? When you open, become completely open and available. Your life is for you. Your life is for you. So open and available, the highest and the best in the area of love, in the area of prosperity, in the area of health, of ease, of comfort within the body temple, within strength and flexibility. God's greatest idea of itself as you, 2026, get a hit, get a feeling tone, get an image, a sound, a symbol.
Yes.
God's greatest idea, greatest idea. How good can it get? How much better can it get? Let your cells, let your nervous system become open like an antenna, attracting what it is that you most do desire as opposed to what we don't desire, becoming open at the top. And Rev Skip, if you want to jump in, feel free.
No, I'm just letting you roll. It's good.
Okay,
I'm
just riffing. So becoming open and available. And in this moment, get an image, get a picture, get a feeling tone, make it up. Get an image of you being everything you are God intended to be, 2026.
Yeah.
And let that image be so bright, so clear, so vivid. Get it in your mind's eye. Make it so brilliant, so crystal clear. And then imagine, see, sense, visualize, pretend that image becomes trillions and trillions of light particles settling itself into every cell of your body. Imprinting into every proton, every neutron, every electron, every cell, every organ, every action, every function within the body temple becomes remembered unto itself as you, as your very highest and best. Feel it, feel buzzing, decide to feel the energy buzzing inside of you. The renewing, the youthening all through your spine, all through the discs, all through the spongy stuff in between, all through your brain, all through every organ, all through all the joints. Feel life and more life, vitalizing life force energy, remembering itself as you right here, right now. And with the biggest, fattest yes you can give yourself, just say yes.
Yes.
Yes to my life.
Yes.
Yes. Yes to
Yes.
God's vision.
Mhm.
Forget my little ego thinking I know what I want. To open and available to God's greatest idea of itself as you.
Yeah. Mhm.
And allow it to be.
And so it
Right.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
What a beautiful way to end this session,
Mhm.
this time. Beautiful. That was, I felt it. Felt the love.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good. And the inspiration that's coming through. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Powerful. All right. Well, it's, believe it or not, is that time. And I always want to let people know where they can get in contact with us. So, Reverend Julie?
Yeah, so my book is going on sale. It's going to be half price. I've never sold at half price before, so you can look out for that. I think
Is that
starting
on
tomorrow
Amazon?
on Amazon. I also have some audiobooks on iTunes, but on Amazon, What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand. And it's all about how we can rig our life so we become self-inspiring, so that the practices and even the environment help remind us, like what we just did, of who we really are. And so What's Your What? How to Ignite Your Unique Brand will be on sale, half price.
Half
So
price.
you can enjoy that, and find me on Instagram at Rev Julie Moret.
Absolutely.
How about
Powerful,
you?
powerful. I'm Instagram. My Instagram is Rev Skip Jennings, also on YouTube. If you go to Rev Skip Jennings, I have another YouTube page. It's called Inspired Transformation. And soon there'll be another YouTube page. It's the 50 and Beyond Tribe. That YouTube page will be coming up very, very soon. So stick with me. You can go to skipjennings.com, find out more information of what I'm doing, where I'm at. And also we have 4 spots. Someone else signed up yesterday. So we literally have 4 spots left for Bali. If you're interested, you want to come, we got room for you. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm actually have decided that we're going to do it's a spiritual journey, but we're also going to do some empowerment work around visioning and catching your ideas and really aligning your mind with your spirit. So I'm working out some incredible things that we can do to increase our capacity to think. So we have some real great some great things that are going to be happening on the retreat. I'm very excited about that as well. And y'all, just to know this, that this is very exciting for us. We are knowing that so much is unfolding, and I can't wait for next year. And we're going to be here for the next couple of weeks as we're going through our time of transition. So be with us this holiday season. Be with us. We're going to be here.
Yeah, yeah. Sending lots of love.
Sending lots of love. Remember, transformation is a choice. You can choose today. This is so beautiful. We'll see you next week. Peace, y'all.
Bye-bye.